You guys like that goat video? The latest and greatest of memes. The goat has got you, baby. The show. Welcome. As you know, I'm Oz the Crypto Goat, and we are here in the Ledger Lounge. And I'm doing just fine after the dentist. Mouth's a little bit swollen, jaw's a little sore. So that is a bit of a bummer. We did miss the show yesterday. But don't forget, guys, if you are on TikTok, come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. And in today's show, we will be going over the news, some price point predictions, and my insight into what I see happening. But mainly right now, the news is controlling the markets. Okay. no matter what direction you can plot or expect or hope for, it's going to be the news that drives everything, okay? And I feel like we're running out of good news as far as crypto goes. We already kind of know and have speculated about everything that is, supposed to happen or may happen. And that's why we got this big, nice pump right here on XRP, because we already speculated. And, you buy the rumor, you sell the news. And now we are getting the news from it, and a lot of the news hasn't even been that great of news, and the amazing great news has been pretty much fake news or propped up by some platform or another. And it shows that no matter how bullish the news is, we still continue to drop back down along this bullet or bearish trend line. And this is kind of common. This is normal. This is what we see in the markets. Usually they say sell in May and go away, right? You're supposed to sell in May and take your money and go on vacation, and we'll see you back in towards the end of the year, So this is normal market behavior, guys. And if you think that we're bullish right now and that we're about to pump to crazy numbers, you've been fed moon cheese. Moon cheese is the cheese that they bait the trap with to make you feel that it's going to the moon and give you a sense of urgency to buy. And then they spring the trap once you guys drive the price up to where they want it to be, and they sell, and they use you as exit liquidity. They already bought into the market way down here, and they are working on their exit strategy, and their exit strategy is to keep it high as long as possible, so that way they can continue to take profits at higher dollar amounts. The idea is to extract the liquidity from the market, which is you and your pocketbook if you're buying right now. So keep that in mind, and that's why we're here. We're here to help you make smarter trades, here to understand the way the market works, how to read the charts the way I do. I do not use indicators. I mean, I tend to from here and then, like, let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands, they do something which basically says where we could jump up to. This says 227 and this says 187. I don't think any of that is very accurate though, so I stay away from them. The other one I would say would be the EMA lines, which tend to be the most accurate indicators. But generally we drop below the EMA. See, we drop below the EMA here, and it looks like we're headed for the EMA one more time at 195. If we break this EMA, expect us to fall down dramatically, just like we did here. The question is, will we hit, 161 like we did before and double bottom and come back up and hit that $2 mark and then come back down? But I think once we break down past here, $2 will become heavy resistance, and it will be nearly impossible for us to break up above it until later on in the year. However, if we keep holding above the $2 mark and we form this inverted head and shoulders, that could send us up to, 235 and even 245, 247. But then I think it would probably fall short from that, and I think the most it would get is about 235. And it would hit that and basically want to come back down, and we would still continue in this channel. This is a descending channel, as you can see here. Let me plot it out for you guys. It's doing something like this. Bear with me. Something like that seems to be where we are, which means that when we drop the next time, more than likely, if we do not form this head and shoulders and this breaks, that's heavy downward pushing motions that would send us to right about here, which is at, I would say, the 147 to 155 range is where we would hit. But I think we would hit lower. I think the very tip would be at the 147, and the candle would probably close at about 154, 155. So we shall see. As you can see, we tipped down here, but the candle closed up here at 179. And that's what we'll see. We'll see the tips come down here. That we could even come down as far as 139 and even as low as 128, 130. It just depends on how much time it takes us to fall like that. If it's quickly, it doesn't fall as low, but if it runs down like it did here and then waterfalls, the more space between is how much lower it goes. So we just have to wait, watch, and see what's going to happen. In the meantime, smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Share the show with your friends. Send in those gifts. And don't forget, guys, we are not receiving money from TikTok right now. So we are on a suspension ban type thing. So because of that, we're not really getting paid from TikTok. So if you do want to give, send it to the Venmo or to the Cash App. But let's see here. Where is that? I made a little meme here. Let's take a look at the meme. If you haven't seen it yet, this is the reason why we are leaving TikTok right here. Hello, Awakened Mermaid Healer. How are you? So this is the reason why we're leaving TikTok, guys. I created this meme the other day, and I wanted to share it with you guys if you guys haven't seen it yet. But let's take... So TikTok, I don't want to say the B word, but we are getting demerits or having retaliation from TikTok, and it's some kind of bots or something that is coming after the show, basically saying we're breaking the rules. And now TikTok has changed their policy where if you break their rules, they take your subscriptions. They take the subscription money. So you as a subscriber pay for the show and you get to keep your subscription, but they keep the money. And I don't get it anymore. And they constantly hit me with things that aren't true. And I have to file... every TikTok show, I file a minimum of 9 or 10 appeals on the low end. On the high end, I would say about 25 to 30 appeals throughout the show. So it's become a problem. It's the new AI dev team integrated this month. It's hurting everyone, and it's unfair. Exactly. And that is why we have Twitch now as a platform, as well as TikTok, because I've already been removed where I have had to not do the show for a whole week. So this is our safeguard, our ability to have a secondary place to go and to retreat to when that retaliation happens. However, guys, remember, your subscriptions on TikTok are needed. I need you guys to subscribe because it helps with the algorithm and it helps with the show. But as of right now, we are not receiving those um, those subscriptions. I do have an appeal in place. It should go through and we will get paid. But as of right now, this show is not making any money. What I make on Twitch, I am affiliate, but you have to earn at least $50 in order to cash out. And we're at, I think, like $20 or $30. So maybe we'll make $50 off of Twitch. We'll see. And on TikTok, we're basically earning nothing. Usually I'll go live for, 3 to 5 hours. And when I see my balance at the end of the live, it says negative or it says like 63 cents. So the amount of income coming in has dropped dramatically. So that's why we are doing donations. Oh, that was not supposed to be there. It was supposed to be donations. So if you guys want to donate, click on the donation link, or you can send it to the Venmo or Cash App. That's the Cash App is $ Aussie 122 33 504, or you can send it to Venmo at Aussie 122 33 504. So just remember, guys, we are supported by your donations now, basically, because these platforms are stealing from the creators. They're stealing, and that is why I made that video, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So thank you for watching. So don't forget to go watch that video. Watch all my memes. I got a lot of new memes out right now, and a lot of new meme videos. So make sure you watch those, you repost them, you put a like on there, you put a comment, and let's get those memes out there as well. And I do appreciate when you guys do that. So let's grow this channel. So back to XRP. How's everybody doing today? I missed you guys yesterday. I really, really wanted to go live, but I could just not even open my mouth. My jaw was so sore. It was awful. It's still sore now, but it's not like it was yesterday. I can actually talk. So as you can see, same thing. We're in this descending channel, guys, and we hit the top here of the channel. And we're starting to move along the channel, which is a good sign that it could possibly, break up the top. If it keeps riding the top line, it wants to break out the top. If it rides the bottom line, it wants to break out the bottom. So far, every time it's gone down to the bottom, it's tapped, So same with up here. It kind of rides the top, rides the top here. But eventually it does break and fall. However, if this is an inverted head and shoulders, which I do think it is, I think we could break up and go up to 235. I do see it happening. However, I believe that it would be a bull trap and it would break out just enough like it did up here and send it falling right back down. But we'd have to see. We have to see it play out. And it may go to 235 and come back down, and it may tap the top of this line, which will become resistance and continue to move up. And we could see, $5 maybe. I doubt it, but it's possible. It's possible. It could happen. So we don't want to be, unrealistic. And the sentiment is that everyone believes that they're going to get rich quick. If you've seen The Wolf of Wall Street, XRP would be considered a pink sheet, guys. A penny stock type thing. It was pennies before, and now it's pumped up, right? But it's a pink sheet, And if you've seen the movie, they explain how they have their ads in the back of Hustlers, and they tell people it's a way to get rich quick. You're buying in ground floor on something. That doesn't mean that XRP won't grow and do bigger things. I just think we're just like so new. We're so new. It's a little early, and a lot has to happen before any of that changes. Okay. The lawsuit has to change. They have to change laws with Congress. They have to have set in stone structure. ISO has to go into effect, which has been being put back. By the way, ISO has nothing to do with crypto, but it will pump it. Okay, there are just some coins that are ISO compliant. That is all. That does not mean that once ISO goes into play, that all of a sudden the switch gets flipped and crypto skyrockets and goes crazy. It's not that. Okay, these are things that will happen slowly over time. We will see growth. We will see different things, but you have to understand that XRP is, like a bucket, okay, with no bottom in it, because money flows into it if it does on an institutional level, and it will somewhat bring the price of XRP up. However, it flows through, it does not go into it and sit there. It goes into XRP and right back out of it instantly within seconds, okay? So if trillions of dollars are going into XRP, it's not like the market cap is going up trillions of dollars, because it's going in and it's moving out. Yes, it will raise the price somewhat, but it won't do the crazy numbers like people are saying, $10,000. It's ridiculous. It's a pipe dream, okay? If you're looking to get rich quick from crypto, guys, it does not come from buying the top and holding it. Getting rich from crypto comes from buying down in these lower zones when it peaks up and taking profits all the way down. Okay. That doesn't mean that there isn't money to be made here, guys. Crypto is very volatile and has big swings. So that does also mean that when it does have big swings, that there is money to be made there. That is how it's made, not by buying and holding and waiting for the switch to get turned on. Now, maybe one day the switch will get turned on and that sentiment will change. But as of right now, we are too early. We're too early, everyone. It's not happening tomorrow. And the FOMO is ridiculous because everybody seems to think that I need to buy it now. I need to buy as much as I can, and I need to hold on to it because it's going to do all these crazy things, and it's all happening now, and I have no time, no time. We have time. We have been granted a blessing. It is a blessing that the markets are crashing. It's giving us another opportunity to buy at the low prices, okay? So don't FOMO over the $2 price, guys, because it will drop below $2 again, okay? We've already done it several times. Let's see. We've done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times it's fallen under $2. And each time it seems to be going a little bit lower. So don't freak out. There is time to buy. There are trades to be made. There is money to be made, but it has to be done within reason. You have to do it properly. You have to calculate your decisions. You have to be smart about it. You can't just listen to social media, to TikTok videos, and think that that's what's going to make you rich quickly so that you'll be fine. Because if you do it that way, you will become someone's exit liquidity. You will be their exit strategy. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that the overall sentiment right now is the markets are going down. Nothing good is coming out. And even good stuff that we've gotten, like the crypto reserve, it wasn't what we speculated. They're just holding on to crypto. They're just not going to spend it. They'll sell it slowly over time. And it was not mass accumulation of cryptocurrencies like everyone speculated, okay? The speculation pump will always be bigger and the news will always drop it even lower. Okay. So we already got our speculation here that Trump would get into office, it would pump, and then it fizzled down a little bit, but then Trump got into office and it pumped, and then tariffs started coming, and we've been on downward ever since the tariff war started. Okay. And until that is over, that is the trend we'll be in. It will be tariff city until it's all said and done. And if you think that the tariff stuff is over or on pause, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. All the tariffs are still in place. They're still negotiating. There is no pause right now. There's been a renegotiation, but it's still 10% tariffs on all countries. It's 145% tariff on China, which is crazy. That should have dropped the markets, and it didn't. People still thought that the tariff pause was in effect, so they didn't even react to the China one, which is crazy because that we get most of our products from China. So they are using the news to manipulate things, guys. They're using the news. Listen, they think that everything is controlled by the news, that you're not smart enough, that you won't wake up, that you just want to sit at home and drink Bud Light. Okay. A head chine is up now on the over 200%. What do you mean by that? Head chine? Hello, Mr. Goat. How are you, my friend? I am doing well. I'm recovering from my dentist appointment. I bit my cheek, so it hurts. I heard China tariffs on them is over 200% now. I did not hear that it was over 200%. I heard that it was 140 something. So let's look at that. Where is the... I have a new keyboard, so I don't know where is what. 245%. I heard that too. Wow. Yep. You are correct. 245%. White House's 245% figure for some Chinese products causes confusion. Amid tariff war with China, the White House statement that some Chinese goods face 245% tariff generated confusion in Beijing. It was another escalation. No, Trump's new tariffs on China will stand at 145%. But the White House quickly tried to clear things up, saying 245% figure that they would put into the April 15th document. So it's not 245% yet. It's just 145, but it will go to 245 on... It was put into the April 15th document, outlining the context for a new executive order for President Donald Trump, represented all previous and all new tariffs on Chinese goods dating to Biden and the first Trump administrations. Let's see here. Let's see what they have to say about it.
I'm looking at something to help some of the car companies where they're switching to parts that were made in Canada, Mexico, and other places, and they need a little bit of time because they're going to make them here.
we have a wait.
It's not over. It's just begun. Okay. Prices may go up to 245%, but as of right now, it's 145% tariff on China, which is crazy that the market has not collapsed due to that. But the reason it hasn't collapsed is because you are basically getting fed that tariffs are on pause. Everyone's being fed that tariffs are on pause. And guys, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends if you're on TikTok. Become a subscriber, renew your subscriptions. I am working that out with TikTok to get my subscriptions income back. So please do still subscribe so that you have access to those daily price point videos, and you can message me directly as a deluxe subscriber, and I can help you, coach you, talk to you, and we can work out what your goals are and where you want to go and what you want to see. And don't forget, guys, if you are watching on TikTok, come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. And let's grow the Twitch, guys, because the Twitch is where we're going to basically be going live. And the TikTok is where we're going to be posting those price point videos and where I'll be answering questions. So we're kind of doing both for now until we firmly transition over into Twitch. So as for now, we're doing both for now, and we'll see what happens. So subscribe on TikTok, right? I'm on Twitch, though. If you want to be a subscriber on Twitch, that's fine. But if you want to have access to the daily price point videos, you do have to subscribe onto TikTok. And in order to message me directly, you have to be a deluxe subscriber on TikTok. Mind you, I have a staff of people I have to pay, and I have the studio that we're building and all the expenses that go into that. So we are not really making any money. And, you know, the information that's being given out is going to pay for itself. So keep that in mind, guys. What you're paying for on Twitch is for the commercials. I get it. They suck, but that comes with the territory. We have to have a secondary platform because at any given moment, TikTok could be banned in the US. We could be removed from the platform. So we have Twitch as a way to mitigate that so that we have somewhere to go to if we can't be on TikTok, but we are still doing both. But remember, guys, this information pays for itself, okay? And the work that I put into this show is never ending, guys. Even on my days off, my messages are blowing up. I'm answering hundreds of messages a day. Some are paragraphs or multiple paragraphs long. I'm watching the charts 24/7. I'm doing the technical analysis. I'm reading through the news. I'm fact checking the news. I'm doing the live show 3 to 5 hours, 5 days a week. So it is a lot of time and resources. And with all of that time and resources does come expense. So keep that in mind, guys. And I do need you guys to support in order to keep this going. Don't let the show die. Don't let this information be hidden. Let's get this information out to the world, guys. But we're live on TikTok, and we only have 2 people watching. We only have 2 people watching on TikTok. We've got 13 on Twitch, so the viewership has decreased quite a bit. So please continue to support and keep the show going because if it comes to a point where it's just not doing anything, I'm just going to stop doing it and I'll enjoy my time with my kids. So don't let it die, guys. We have to work together. So if you are watching on TikTok, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends, send in those gifts. And I do appreciate all the overwhelming support that you guys give. And remember, we are not really making any money here. So if you do want to help support the show, you can send it to the Cash App or the Venmo. So that's the Cash App and the Venmo, guys. So much appreciated. Thank you all. So let's take a look at the chart. Let's see. Let's take a look at the 1 minute here. So this is our channel in the 1 minute. And remember, guys, if you are on TikTok, and you're not enjoying the video image that you see, you can always come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. So it does look like, we're moving up a bit, but it looks like it wants to break down. And if it does break down back down to this 203, 205 range, this could be a diamond bottom that's forming here, just like the diamond top that we had. But probably not. Maybe. So we had this diamond top, and basically the diamond top executed, but it pumped like a bull trap, and then we double topped and then came back down. So the diamond top in the 1 hour did execute, just not exactly, but it did. So this is what we got, and it looks like it's being followed by some sort of a diamond bottom, Frankenstein type thing. Not really. I think more or less what this will be is a double bottom that should send us up, and that's kind of where we're at. It may be like a triple bottom and come back up. But what it looks like is we are forming the shoulders of this inverted head and shoulders. It seems to be what is happening, guys. It seems like this is an inverted head and shoulders, and we should see it break out, and I'd see it at least go to 230, 240, but I think the top would be 247 and then come back down. But if it does break 247, expect it to go up to, much higher levels, 250, 260, 275, 280. Those are all possible. It could turn around. Usually when you have a descending channel like this, once it does break out, it's a bullish push. Okay. And it could literally send us up to the $3 range or even higher of 340 where we've been. My 15-year-old is teaching me how to read candles now, so that helps. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and the thing about reading candles is we are more accurate with our price points and numbers daily because we are not using indicators. So if you can learn to read the charts without indicators, you are going to benefit much, much more. You can use the indicators as like a way to gain sentiment of which direction you think the market's going. But if you're looking for those price points, baby, You got to use the candles, man. The candles are a dead giveaway. They will point you right where you want to be, and that's when you catch the wicks, man. You can catch these wicks all the way at the bottom, set your price points to buy, and then you can ride it all the way back up. So that's the way to do it. Because if you're using like the Fibonacci and stuff like that, it'll put you in the wheelhouse, but it won't give you that number you're looking for. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, let's see here. Some more news. By the way, today's show is going to be a little bit more chill, a little bit more laid back. We're still kind of consolidating. When we're consolidating and there's not much news, it just is what it is. We can only cover so much. But let's talk about the SEC case. What do I think about NVIDIA? Honestly, I think it's going to go down more with the China tariffs. But I think they do have not a monopoly, but they've got a lot of control over the market. So eventually it will go back up. Not financial advice, by the way. Ripple XRP versus SEC update. Court orders SEC to submit a report. Okay. So we all know that the case is going on. And this is the court document right here. I'll read it for you. United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. At a stated term of the United States Court of Appeals is the Second Circuit held at blah, 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 blah. Basically, it's before the judge's name, and plaintiff is the SEC versus Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse. And basically right here, what you need to read is right down here at the bottom. It says, parties jointly move to hold this appeal in absence with the United States Secretary and Exchange Commission directed to file a status report within 60 days of this order. So they filed a motion to extend for 60 days, and now the court has ordered the SEC to file a status report within 60 days. Otherwise, they will drop the case. Obviously, they'll probably put in that status report. It's hereby ordered that the joint motion is granted. So basically, 60 days, baby. 60 days until we know more about the case. So there's not really anything that comes out. If you read anything news about the SEC case prior to that, the only thing it could possibly be is something that is filed. Nothing can be dropped or removed or changed until then. So keep that in mind. And more news. Altcoin market 41% drop signals possible crypto winter from Coinbase. What's up, Eric? Welcome. Man, the Twitch is really growing and the TikTok is just dying. Glad to have you all here on TikTok as well, but make sure you jump over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. Come on over and come see the show the way it was intended to be. So, let me zoom in for all you Twitchers so y'all can read it. So 41% drop signals possible crypto winter, and that's normal, guys. Usually around May, June, July, the crypto market tanks and then it picks up later on in the season. So we are going into crypto winter. We are in altcoin season. Okay. We're in mid altcoin season, which is crypto winter. So everyone that says, "Oh, we haven't had an altcoin season yet," that's because the liquidity is more spread out. We didn't see what we've seen in the past because there are less, or not less, but more projects for people to invest into, and that money that would normally go into certain projects has now been spread out. The liquidity is spread thin. So it's not what people expect. And also, people, when Bitcoin started pumping, people jumped into altcoins and to meme coins early because they want to get the drop on it. They would be like, why would you waste, getting left behind in meme coin season or altcoin season when you could get into it early and make more money? But because of this, it spread the liquidity from Bitcoin, it spread the liquidity from the alts, and it spread the liquidity throughout the massive meme coin space. So keep that in mind, guys. We are entering into crypto winter for alt season, okay? Which means that we will be moving down. I'm not going to read all of this. Basically just summed it all up for you. I'm going to try to do less reading today because my jaw is still sore and I do have a giant wound on the side of my mouth right now. It's killing me. So I'm trying to not do too much, Let's see here. Smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Share the show with your friends. Send in those lightning bolts if you think we're going down. Send them in. I need 50 lightning bolts. Help me out. For those of you that are on Twitch, thank you all for your support. And don't forget, if you want to continue to get those daily price point videos or message me directly, you have to be a deluxe subscriber on TikTok still. So that will change possibly once we, get things moved around better and we're growing more on Twitch. But as of right now, that's how we're doing it because Twitch doesn't offer all the same things that TikTok does. So things are evolving and changing slowly over time. So give it a chance. Give it a moment. Censored by TikTok. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you for the lightning bolts. And, view wherever it is that you want to view. Censored by TikTok. Thank you for the 50 lightning bolts. And those of you that are subscribed on TikTok, don't forget to renew your subscriptions, guys. If you want to continue to see those daily price point videos and message me directly, you got to renew those deluxe subscriptions. So don't forget, guys, subscribe. And if you're just a basic subscriber, you can upgrade to deluxe and message me directly, and I will help coach you and teach you how I do the things I do, and we can talk and chat about pretty much whatever you like. But let's keep it to one topic at a time, per day. Please don't message me with a paragraph with 30 questions in it. Let's take things slowly with time and get all your questions answered. But take it easy, guys. Remind you, I have hundreds of you messaging me every day. So let's stick to one topic at a time and baby steps and move forward, guys. All right, let's see here. We got a little bit more news. And this one, the AI is going to read it for me.
Rebound likely in Q3, Coinbase. A monthly market review by publicly traded US-based crypto exchange Coinbase shows that while the crypto market has contracted, it appears to be gearing up for a better quarter. According to Coinbase's April 15 monthly outlook for institutional investors, the altcoin market cap shrank by 41% from its December 2024 highs of $1.6 trillion to $950 billion by mid-April. BTC Tools data shows that this metric touched a low of $906.9 billion on April 9 and stood at $976.9 billion at the time of writing. Venture capital funding to crypto projects has reportedly decreased by 50% to 60% from 2021-22. In the report, Coinbase's global head of research, David Duong, highlighted that a new crypto winter may be upon us. Several converging signals may be pointing to the start of a new crypto winter as some extreme negative sentiment has set in due to the onset of global tariffs and the potential for further escalations, he said. Related, how trade wars impact stocks and crypto. Macroeconomic woes cause crypto turmoil. The report notes that lower venture capitalist interest significantly limits the onboarding of new capital into the ecosystem, which is felt primarily in the altcoin sector. The cause of that, according to Duong, is the current macroeconomic environment. All of these structural pressures stem from the uncertainty of the broader macro environment, where traditional risk assets have faced sustained headwinds from fiscal tightening and tariff policies, contributing to the paralysis in investment decision-making. According to Coinbase researchers, those facts have resulted in a difficult cyclical outlook for the digital asset space, and warrant continued caution in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Still, the report's author said that the market is likely to change directions explosively. When the sentiment finally resets, it's likely to happen rather quickly, and we remain constructive for the second half of 2025. Duong cited some metrics to indicate when the crypto market is moving between bull and bear market phases, including risk-adjusted performance and the 200-day moving average. Another metric was the Bitcoin, BTC, Z-score, which compares market value and realized value to identify overbought and oversold conditions. A Z-score shows how unusual current price performance is when compared to historic data. Bitcoin's risk-adjusted performance. Source, Coinbase. This metric naturally accounts for crypto's larger volatility, but it is also slow to react. This metric tends to generate few signals in stable markets. Coinbase's model, based on it, determined that the bull market ended in late February but has since deemed the market neutral. Coinbase's Z-score Bitcoin model. Source, Coinbase. Instead, Coinbase's analysts suggested that the 200-day moving average is a better indicator for determining market trends. It smooths out short-term noise while being relevant by considering the last 200 days' worth of market data. Coinbase's 200-day moving average Bitcoin model. Source, Coinbase. The report also said that gauging the broader crypto market's trend by the direction in which Bitcoin is moving is increasingly less reliable. This is because crypto expands into new sectors with decentralized finance, DeFi, decentralized physical infrastructure networks, DePIN, artificial intelligence agents, and more, all with particular market forces independent of Bitcoin. Related, Bitcoin's wide price range to continue, no longer a long-only bet, analyst. Are we in a bear market? Duong points out that the 200-day moving average suggests that Bitcoin's recent decline moved it into bear market territory in late March. Still, applying the same model to the Coin50 Coinbase index based on the top 50 crypto assets shows a bear market since the end of February. Coinbase's 200-day moving average model applied to the Coin50 index. Source, Coinbase. Recent reports indicated that Bitcoin is showing growing resilience to macroeconomic headwinds compared with traditional financial markets. Bitcoin's decline was comparatively modest, revisiting price levels from around the U.S. election period, according to Wintermute. Duong sees Bitcoin becoming less of a generalized crypto indicator as a consequence of this trend. He wrote, "As Bitcoin's role as a store of value continues to grow, we think a holistic evaluation of crypto's aggregate market activity will be needed to better define bull and bear markets for the asset class." Magazine, Bitcoin eyes $100,000 by June, Shaq to settle NFT lawsuit, and more, Hodler's Digest, April 6 to 12.
All right, so, it doesn't look like things are super bullish right now. Things are a bit bearish. Does that mean that it's over? No. It means that you sell in May, you go away. That's normal. Things are going to cool off over the next couple months, and then we could see a nice pump towards the summer, end of the year, guys. So what we're looking for is those entry points to hold and to catch that second pump. That's what we're looking for. If we're buying at $2, there's a possibility that it could drop down really low, below $1 in the next couple months. And when it does pump, it only reaches up to $2 or $2.50 or maybe $3, you know. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We'll wait and see. There's also, you know, a possibility that with the regulation coming out, ETFs, Congress passing laws for crypto and things like that later on in the year, we could see bigger numbers. We could see $5 for XRP. That is definitely possible. But as of right now, we are trending downward. Blockchain Bullhorn, thank you for the rose. That's Calvin Hill. Calvin Hill just sent me a rose. That's hilarious. You tried to make peace, Calvin? You tired of me taking your peoples? What's going on, Calvin? Come on, Calvin, let's go. You had a lot to say when I was in your live. What do you got to say right now? What do you got to say? I do appreciate the rose, though. Calvin's on TikTok right now. I don't think that's his official one because it's no, that's not Calvin's official. It's 2 N's on the horn. That's not Calvin. But thank you for the rose. Much appreciated. So yeah, guys, be prepared for crypto winter. Be prepared for the markets to continue to go down. And we have some more news about retail sales. And mind you, because of this, retail sales are surging right now. That means that will be calculated when the Fed goes to raise or lower interest rates. And more than likely, they're not going to lower interest rates because it's going to show a surge of buying because people are rushing to beat the tariffs. So let's listen. Oh. I guess I have to read it. Dang it, man. So retail sales surged in March as Americans rushed to beat Trump's tariffs. Trump erratic trade war has unsettled Americans in recent months, stoking fears of inflation picking up in the year ahead. Now, mind you guys, I'm building this studio right now, and there are things that I didn't quite need just yet. However, I rushed out and bought them, the technology, the cameras, the lighting, the computers, and all the infrastructure. I bought them as quickly as possible. Same as everyone else, because I'm worried that by the time I need them, the price will go up. So I am buying up as much things as possible right now, hoping that if it does go up, I'll be able to get them at a lower price. So if I'm doing it, you know, the sentiment's real, and that I've been doing that over the last month or so, you know, buying all this stuff up because the price is going to skyrocket on everything, guys. Goods are going to become much more expensive. They're talking about phones becoming like really expensive, but phones are out of Taiwan, but the company is based out of China, so there is a possible sentiment that phones will go up. I don't really see it happening. Maybe not. But electronics are going to go up. Cars are going to go up. Lots of things are going to become more expensive. Spending at U.S. retailers skyrocketed last month at the strongest month pace in more than 2 years as Americans rushed to beat President Trump's massive tariff hikes. Retail sales climbed 1.4% in March from the prior month, the Commerce Department said Wednesday, up from February's 0.2% gain and the highest monthly gain since January 2023. The figures are adjusted for seasonal swings, but not inflation. The strongest showing in March was largely driven by sales of cars and auto parts. Excluding those purchases, retail sales were up more modest 5%. Trump's erratic trade war has unsettled Americans in recent months, stoking fears of inflation. Let me zoom in. Stoking fears of inflation picking up the years ahead, according to a various sentiment survey. So, we think that inflation is going to go up because of this. That's correct. Inflation is going to go up, which means the Fed is not going to drop rates. And the market usually booms when they drop rates. If they stay the same or go up, the market usually drops. So if they raise interest rates, expect the markets to drop hard, guys. And expect if they stay the same and don't go down, for the markets to drop somewhat. And maybe even hard with tariff news. So keep that in mind, that interest rates are more than likely not coming down. American spending frenzy could stretch into April, but will eventually fade, economists say. These brief buying spurts make it difficult for Wall Street and the Federal Reserve to understand the true strength of consumer spending, which powers about 70% of the U.S. economy. In the near term, we could have some really strong consumer spending numbers, but that just makes things a little bit tricky for the Fed. James Knightley, chief international economist, told CNN that means that the Fed just sits and waits to see what happens, referring to the central bank's upcoming interest rate decisions. Details from the report. Retail says in March we're up across most categories, especially for car dealerships and home improvement stores. Spending on motor vehicles and parts was up a whopping 5.3% in March from February, the strongest monthly pace since January 2023. Meanwhile, sales at home improvement stores rose 3.3% during the same period. Retail sales declined at future shops, department stores, gas stations. Since Commerce Department's figures aren't adjusted for inflation, the March decline in sales at gas stations could reflect falling gas prices. So people are buying up home improvement stuff and cars and things right now, and they're not buying gas because of it. That is indicative of a recession, okay? And the fact that they're buying these goods only because they know that the prices are going to be going up. I'll tell you what, I'm guilty of it, okay? I haven't been driving to a lot of places lately, and I've been investing all my money at Home Depot with building this studio and everything. I'm doing exactly what they're stating here, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Red Fox Construction, thank you for the heart me. Much appreciated. And don't forget, guys, if you are watching on TikTok, we are live on Twitch. Also, don't forget to become a subscriber, guys. Subscribe to the channel and get access to those daily price point videos. And as a deluxe subscriber, you can message me directly and I will help coach you, give you my opinions on things. We can talk about things in real time because I cannot be live all the time. So this way, you can still get a hold of me and find out what's going on. I did have a dentist appointment yesterday and I could not talk, but those of you who were deluxe subscribers were able to message me and get those price points and understand what was going on, what was happening, even though I wasn't live. So become a deluxe subscriber, guys. Red Fox Construction, thank you for the 10 GGs. Much appreciated. And don't forget, guys, to become a subscriber. Thank you all very much who do subscribe. Your subscriptions do help the show. Even though we aren't receiving the revenue from it right now, that appeal should be going through soon, and I will be receiving all of that. They can only do so much before they end up losing and they give in. So when you do give to TikTok, though, it also helps the algorithm. So thank you guys for your gifts. And don't forget, you can also send gifts through donation. You can send it through the Cash App or Venmo. That's Aussie 122-33-504 on Cash App or Venmo. OZZY 122-33-504 on Cash App or Venmo. And when you send your donations there, guys, they go directly to me so that I can pay the staff. So those donations go to help pay for my IT guy. I have the construction crew laying carpet and soundproofing the studio and building it from the ground up. I also have a fact checker and journalist that is going through all the news articles and doing all the fact checking as well. So when you guys give donations, those go to help support all of that. And it goes to help build the studio. So please donate if you can. Much appreciated. Or send gifts or subscribe. However it is you feel like doing it. And if you don't feel like giving or you can't afford it, no problem. You will start making money by doing this. And Harley Dan, did I get your Cash App donation? I don't know. When did you send it? Right now? When did you send the donation, Harley Dan? And for how much is the question. But I have been receiving some donations. The other day, 50% of all donations were donated to the Save a Warrior Fund. I'm guessing I got your donation, but I haven't seen any donations since Friday. So your donation may not have gone through unless you sent it on Friday. And on Friday, 50% of all donations was donated back to the saveawarrior.org fund. And we are going to be doing that once a month, guys. We're going to be donating 50% of proceeds once a month for that show. Will go towards different charities. I do like the Save a Warrior one, so we may do that one again, or we'll do a different one, maybe March of Dimes or something like that. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Maybe St. Jude's. I want to pick good ones, that are going to be saving people's lives, and so that's the whole point of that, is so that we're not just given to this show, but we're giving back to the community, because that's what this show is all about. It's about community. Do you have an opinion on crypto one way or the other? My opinion is that we are moving down. My opinion is that we're going into crypto winter, and that, come July, August, maybe after, we'll start seeing pumps again. But I think that we're going to be moving down to much, much lower numbers until then. Over the next couple months, expect to see crypto falling. It won't be a straight shot to the bottom. There will be price corrections, and there is money to be made on the way down, guys. And I've been calling those price points to the cent nearly every single day, pretty much every day. And so if you want access to those daily price point videos, don't forget to become a deluxe subscriber, and you can message me directly. So thank you all who are subscribed. Hi, came in late. What's your outlook for XRP headed down? Heard 240 right when I came in. No, I think there's a possibility to hit 240, 245, 235. 230. Yeah, there's a possibility, but we are in this descending channel. More than likely, we won't break out of it. But if we do, Right now we're forming that other shoulder, and what we would need to see is over the next week, the next couple days, some nice green candles. But if we continue to see red candles and downward movement, expect us to move down. But we did drop all the way down to like 202, 203, and now it seems like we're at about 209. So that does look within the realm of possibility. But I would say that if we do form the head and shoulders, we will probably break back right into this downward trend. It would be a nice little bull trap to get people to FOMO and think that it's going to the moon, and then they'll collapse it again. So that's what I think. Am I always right? No, but usually I am. Hey, don't worry if you're late. No big deal. We're chilling. We're having a good time. It's a laid back day. I'm trying to give my voice a little bit of a break. My jaw is very sore from the dentist, and I do have a giant wound on the inside of my mouth, so I have gauze in my mouth. So I'm trying to take it easy. We're probably going to do a little bit shorter show. Maybe we'll go till about like 4 or 4:30, but the show basically ends at 5 Pacific time. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's take it one day at a time, or one article at a time. And in the meantime, I'm gonna give my mouth a nice little break, and we're gonna watch this video.
Results this morning and how you're viewing the entire financial sector off the back of these big bank earnings.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I think in the case of Bank of America and Citigroup, they're both very encouraging results. These are both stocks that we are recommending. And I think what in both cases we're seeing is a reiteration of the financial outlooks that we were expecting. So in the case of Bank of America, for example, a big part of the bull case is that the net interest income outlook is very encouraging and that you would see growth throughout the course of the year. And the guidance is for that growth to that net interest income figure to reach 15.5 to 15.7 billion by the fourth quarter. That's a pretty big increase versus current levels. And they reiterated that guidance. And not only did they reiterate that guidance, they had very good core trends in a lot of cases, in a lot of realms. Deposit costs came down. They're actually seeing better than peer loan growth. They're seeing good deposit trends. So the underlying, trends that sort of reinforce the investment thesis for Bank of America, I think were really reiterated by the results. And in Citigroup's case, and we haven't, their call will be at 11. I think, similarly, they reiterated the full year guidance for revenues and cost. And a lot of the core trends were actually very good. This was a subdued quarter for investment banking, for example, for a lot of companies. Actually, Citigroup outperformed on investment banking. They're seeing good momentum in wealth management. Net interest income is growing. The expense number was good. So, first blush, I think a lot of the underlying trends are encouraging. And I think the other thing I would just mention here is that coming into the quarter for all of the financials, we're really focused on what the message from management was going to be. Was the tone going to be confident, or were concerns going to be expressed? And broadly speaking, the message has really been that the sky is not falling. There have been some nuances here, Jamie. Maybe a little bit more, in the realm of highlighting downside risk, but generally a pretty nuanced view where they're indicating corporates are delaying decisions, but there's optimism about policy clarity later this year, deregulatory agenda, tax cuts being extended, and folks are still spending in early April. So, the sky's not falling has been the message, and I think that's been well received.
So you can see, they're pushing the narrative that things are fine, the sky is not falling. However, I think a lot of that is moon cheese, so keep that in mind. They're going to tell you anything right now to get you to invest into the markets, but them putting the tariffs on hold in quotations. Tariffs are still in effect, but them pushing the narrative that they're on hold is pumping the market. So it's not really much of a drop. And that's what we're seeing right now, is that they are controlling the narrative to keep the markets propped up. So will we fall like crazy? We don't know. We don't know. But we are moving into crypto winter. Sell in May, go away. So I would assume that we'll continue downward slowly. It won't be, a waterfall unless we get some crazy Trump effect news. But really, tariff news is what's going to drive the market. So if I think the big bad wolf of the tariff news has already come out, and people will, start to FOMO in and buy in, and it'll slowly decline as people are taking profits to exit the market. I don't think it'll be another big crash like we saw here and then here. It'll probably be slow and steady, and they'll allow it to pump. I think they'll allow it to pump to 234, even like 240, 247, probably the most it would pump, and then come back down. That just is because I'm factoring moon cheese. The charts say that it's not going to do that, but there is this inverted head and shoulders right here. So we could get a slight pump and then start to dump off. And that would attribute to a slower decline, which is, I think, the narrative that they're pushing. They want a slow decline. They don't want it to happen overnight in one day. Donald Trump can't handle having the largest market crash in U.S. history under his belt. His ego is too much for that. So they're going to allow it to happen slowly. So because of that, the market will remain volatile. So it will go up and it will go down because of it, which means volatility means that there's money to be made. Okay, so I do think that because of moon cheese, we'll probably get a slight pump. Maybe they'll come out with a little bit of news that brings it up, or we'll get another crazy tariff news break that drops it down. But basically, right now, the world we live in with the markets is everything is being driven by the news. And good news gives us little pumps. Bad news gives us big, hard dumps. So I think we have more bad news in our future than good news coming. And it will slowly but surely make its way down. So keep that in mind. But let's not be too pessimistic and understand that there is money to be made here. So we just have to keep an eye on the charts and keep an eye on what's going on. And let's take a look at what this guy's got to say.
Inflation has come in for the month of March at 2.6%, according to the Office for National Statistics. Economists said that they were expecting 2.7%. Rachel Reeves, of course, is saying that it means that their plan for change is working. I'm not sure that everyone would agree with that. Let's see what Liam Halligan has to say about it, Telegraph columnist and expert on, of course, the
Mind you, this is world news,
Liam,
not the US.
Good morning, Mike. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm not sure that Rachel Reeves' statement, I don't know if you've had a chance to read it in full, is entirely genuine. She says, inflation falling for 2 months in a row, wages growing faster than prices, and positive growth figures are encouraging signs that our plan for change is working. But there is more to be done. I mean, you can say that again, couldn't you?
You can indeed. Look, this is a temporary reprieve in inflation. We're still well above the 2% Bank of England target. Of course, as every talk radio listener and viewer knows, prices aren't coming down. They're just going up less quickly. Yeah. The Bank of England has a 2% target. We're at 2.6. The Bank of England itself, whatever the Chancellor says, acknowledges that by the end of this year, inflation is going to be 3.7%, so almost double the 2% target, the cost of living crisis increasing, and it will remain above 2% for all of next year too. Now, why is this happening, Mike? Why is this March figure down, and why is it going to go up again? Well, this is a figure for March. We all know that in April, the energy price cap went up by 9% compared to last year. We know that in April, the minimum wage increase came in, which is going to massively increase firms' costs, as well as the increase in national insurance contributions. All those price pressures are going to feed through. So look, it's good news that inflation is down for now, but prices are still going up, as everyone knows, and there's a lot more inflation to come. That's the bottom line.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, also council tax went up in April as well, which is going to affect an awful lot of people and what they're paying. And Frankie has sent me a tweet to say, 2.6%, my ass, he actually says, I'm going to say. He says, my shopping was 20% more last week than it was at Christmas. And we've also seen a story this morning, people complaining about Southern Water, which is one of the many water companies who are putting their prices up. In some cases, 47% a rise in the water rates. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, that surely must have a knock-on effect at some point.
I think Frankie speaks for a lot of people. Look, I do think the Office for National Statistics has got a problem in the sense that increasingly the public don't believe the inflation figures. They don't believe that this headline index, which is it's called the Consumer Price Index, as you know, Mike, it's the index that the Bank of England targets. It includes a basket of goods and services that we all buy.
Yeah.
I don't think it nearly weighs heavily enough when it comes to utility bills, when it comes to energy prices, which have gone up hugely. Look, energy prices are like 40 or 50% higher than they were before lockdown. Everyone knows that. Food prices are 30% higher than they were before lockdown. And there seems to be no end in sight to these price rises. And when you have a situation where also you have things happening like shrinkflation, so, we all know that certain chocolate bars are a lot smaller than they used to be, even though the price has gone up, well, you're getting a lot less for your money. That's
Packets of crisps as well.
People are talking in pubs about this stuff all the time. They come up to me and talk about it.
Well, that's right.
The fact that the inflation measure isn't really capturing what's really happening. And once you get that happening, Mike, you get an increase in what we call inflation expectations. People start pushing for much, much higher wage rises. Trade unions get a lot bolshier. Firms start building into their cost structures and their pricing going forward bigger price rises, because no one believes the inflation index. I think Frankie's right. I think this is a big problem.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I mean, I opened a packet of crisps the other day. There was only about 10 crisps.
You, Mike, looking so svelte.
I know. There was only about 10 crisps in it. I was going, what's going on? But I mean,
you'd have to have 4 rather than your normal 3 packets.
Exactly. You really do. You have to buy the multi-pack now. But, the thing is that that people are also, they're cleverer than the government gives them credit for. They can see that everything costs more, and you don't get as much for your money. And we know, for example, that UK average regular earnings growth decreased to 5.6% in the 3 months to February. So how the Chancellor can get away with saying wages are growing faster than prices, which is, I'm going to call it out. It's not true. It's a falsification. It's a distortion of the truth. Or in other words, it's a lie.
Well, look, you've got headline wage figures. These are average, and statistically at least, headline wages are going up faster than prices for now, even though for many, many years, headline wage increases have lagged increases in the cost of living, not least increases in the price of housing, whether you're renting or trying to buy a house. And, your audience will be nodding from the waist at this point. We all know how expensive housing has got across all parts of the country. It's not just a southeast thing. And I do think there's a sense where our living standards are just falling away.
Yeah.
And also, another statistical issue that we have, God, you and me talking about statistics early on a Wednesday morning, who'd have thunk it? But another issue is this thing, GDP, gross domestic product, the size of the economy. We all know that even though we have seen a bit of GDP growth in this country, that actually GDP per head, GDP per capita, as statisticians say, if I can keep my dentures in, has been falling. We've been in a GDP per head recession the last year and a half, Mike, with income per head, national wealth per head falling, because even though the economy's been growing a bit, the population, as we all know, has been growing much, much faster. So when the
Absolutely.
national statistics that we all rely on, and I think the public take a good deal of, they follow them closely, a lot closer than a lot of the media gives them credit for, with respect. When the national statistics aren't reflecting people's own thoughts and feelings and experiences, the public loses faith in the national statistics, policy making goes awry, and you get completely lost. I do think there's a danger of that.
And what happens if inflation does start to rise and the Bank of England starts to get a bit jittery and they then start putting interest rates up? Because while that might be good for savers, if anybody's got any money worth saving, it's not going to be good news for homeowners. The mortgages go up. They have even less money to spend on everyday goods.
Exactly right. Of course, in general, when inflation's coming down, when it's below target or near the target, the Bank of England may feel that you can lower interest rates in order to speed the economy up, make it easier to borrow, easier to invest money, maybe give mortgage holders a break if they're on variable rate interests deals. And when inflation's high and above target and rising, then the Bank of England may feel it has to raise rates to slow the economy down so we don't get more inflation. Look, we've seen 3 interest rate cuts from the Bank of England, right, since last summer, from 5.25 quarter point cuts all the way down to 4.5, where we currently are. I don't think there's going to be another interest rate cut. I've said that for a long time. Why? Because the Bank of England's own forecasts suggest that inflation is going up a lot over the coming months, starting next month in April, when those tax rises come in, when those energy price hikes for firms and households come in, as we were discussing earlier. They're saying it's going to go all the way up to 3.7%. And guess what? The Bank of England systematically underestimates future inflation. That's what we've seen for many, many years. Remember during lockdown, as we were coming out of lockdown, and Andrew Bailey kept saying, "Oh, don't worry, this high inflation, it's transitory, old boy." No, it wasn't transitory. It went on and on and on. It went all the way up to 11%, of course, and then we have multiple interest rate cuts, as some of us warned would happen. So I don't actually see another interest rate cut coming, and that will, of course, deter consumers, deter investors from trying to get our economy out of the kind of stagnation pit, near recession, that it currently is in. This is what happens when you award, massive increases in the minimum wage. Yeah. For 18 to 20-year-olds, the increase in the minimum wage was 17%, Mike. Now, I don't begrudge people a decent wage, but we're absolutely hammering businesses with taxes and mandatory wage rises at a time when businesses are still trying to recover from the madness of lockdown. Yeah. That's what's going on. Look at business sentiment. And of course, the economy isn't just about businesses and what businesses want. But unless businesses are thriving, none of the rest of us can thrive. Every single bit of money we have, every single bit of money the government takes off us and then spends, exists because a business created it and paid workers wages. And I think we are hammering businesses in this country, particularly small and medium-sized enterprises. And the more stagnation you get in business, the worse inflation gets, because firms have to put up their costs in order to survive. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely right. Great to talk to you, Liam. Thanks very much indeed. Liam Halligan, Telegraph columnist, a man who knows a thing or two about inflation and what's going on in our economy.
So, yeah, England is feeling the exact same thing we are right now. Okay? It's all around the world. It's not just in one place. And if you know anything about crypto, you know that crypto is a world asset, guys. So it doesn't matter what the news sentiment is here in the United States. What matters is what's happening globally, okay? We're here in the United States, but other people are watching from outside the United States. And the thing is, we are having an economic crisis in every country. Everyone is feeling the sting everywhere you go. It's not just in the US. It's not just in the UK. It's not just in China. It's everywhere. Everywhere they're having major financial issues. And that's why crypto will take off. Crypto will replace this financial institution that we have now. And we will see crypto take over at some point. But as for right now, things have to collapse. It's called the race to the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. The countries are racing to the bottom to cripple their financial infrastructure in order to usher in this new style of infrastructure, this new way of doing things financially. And it comes by crashing the markets, crashing the economy, causing utter chaos, because there are lots of naysayers, lots of people who want nothing to do with crypto. They don't want it. They don't want to do it. And they have to create a crisis in order for them to usher it in with people accepting it with open arms. If they just flip the switch one day, a lot of people are going to combat it and be against it and not want it. But if you do it in a way where you have a crisis and it is the savior that comes in and fixes all the problems, then people will come running for it, accepting it with open arms. So expect everything to collapse before it takes off. All right? And you know, the idea of telling you guys this is so that you guys can understand and accumulate in the right zones. Okay? And it's not all about XRP. I just focus on XRP because I like XRP. I think they're doing big things, and it's been very resilient. It's been very resilient. So that's why we focus on XRP. But it's more than just XRP, guys. XRP will not be the one end all be all. It'll be an ecosystem. It'll be all these different coins and currencies and protocols and so on and so forth. They'll all work together in unison. Smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Share the show with your friends. Become a subscriber on TikTok, guys, and you can get access to my daily price point videos. I post the market sentiment, what direction we're going, and the numbers on where we're probably going to land. I've been accurate pretty much every single day. I'd say about 90 to 95% accurate every single day. And then as a deluxe subscriber, you guys can message me directly, and I can help coach you. I can give you that advice you're looking for. You can just talk to me about whatever it is you need help with. And mind you guys, I have hundreds of messages that flow in. So please, when you do message, allow me some time to get to your messages. And I get a lot of messages that are just paragraphs and paragraphs long. Please, let's start, small and work our way up, and, I can help coach you, and we can, work towards that. And also, guys, I will be taking Saturday and Sunday off from answering messages unless, there's some type of urgent thing that happens, or that changes. But, basically Saturday and Sunday, I need to have a day off to, I'm not even getting a day off on Saturday and Sunday. I'm working with the news team. I'm working with the IT guy. I'm working with the construction crew building the studio. So I do need some time to myself to just be able to breathe. So I do appreciate all of you. And if things are going crazy in the market on a weekend, I will come in and answer those questions or whatnot. But let's keep it within reason. Okay, guys? And remember, don't FOMO, guys. Just relax. Okay. Anytime it moves up, it ends up price correcting. And right now we are in a consolidation zone, and we are possibly forming a shoulder for this head and shoulders, which could move us up to about 235 to 247. But we are also in this descending channel. We may not break up from it, and we'll touch the top here again and then come crashing down. So mind you that getting in the market right now is a risky trade. Very risky. So just keep that in mind. Make safe, smart trades. And back to the news. What's going on? All right. This is from TradingView. XRP $2 level at risk in fresh market sell-off. What comes next? XRP cryptocurrencies, including XRP, are down in early Wednesday session as a fresh selling pressure emerged on the markets. Bitcoin and major cryptocurrencies dipped over 3% as profit taking ensued after Tuesday's rally. XRP followed a similar trend, dropping 4.55% in the last 24 hours to $2.07. And we all know that it dropped further than that. XRP showed steady declines since April 13th, with the price making 2 out of 3 days in losses. Nonetheless, it remains up 14% on the weekly. Fundamentals improved, however, as exchange traded funds provider ProShares amended its spot ETF to be launched in the United States, filing on Tuesday amid April 30 debut on the daily chart. As it stands, the market is paying careful attention to XRP's price behavior. Mind you, guys, the spot ETF is for XXRP, not for XRP. It's different. As it stands, the market is paying careful attention to XRP's price behavior at $2, a significant psychological and technical support zone for XRP. Holding above it may indicate strength and spark a potential bounce. However, losing it may open the door to additional declines, potentially driving XRP near the 161 to 172 support zone, where buying interest has previously emerged. On the contrary, if the bulls can defend the $2 level and buying volume returns, XRP could rebound towards the $2.23 barrier, which coincides with the daily SMA 50 in the short term. However, a break below $2 may result in further downside pressure, especially if the broader market fails to stabilize. Okay, guys. So right now we're at a crucial point where we need to see, is XRP going to hold the $2 zone here, or is it going to break down? On the micro trend, it looks like it's going to hold and it's going to break upward. On the macro trend, it looks like it's going to fall short. And usually the macro overtakes the micro. But that doesn't mean they won't allow it to push a little bit to get a bull trap formed and then drop it back down. Okay? So keep that in mind. If it does pump, it could be very well be a bull trap. So be aware. Somebody asked about NVIDIA earlier. I do have this on NVIDIA. So let's take a look at NVIDIA.
NVIDIA will be fine. Why the worries over China chip controls are overblown. By Tae Kim. April 16, 2025, 12:32 p.m. Eastern Time. NVIDIA stock fell sharply on fears that the Trump administration's new restriction on chip exports to China would significantly hurt the company's business. Don't overreact to the headline. In reality, the restrictions on H20 AI chips that NVIDIA can no longer sell to China without licenses from the US don't affect the company's long-term opportunity. The overall growth outlook and fundamentals for the AI industry remain intact. NVIDIA's long-term prospects for the Chinese market were already diminished after US restrictions that limited China's access to the most advanced AI hardware went into effect in 2022. NVIDIA specifically made its H20 chips for the Chinese market to meet those restrictions. Those rules were expected to stay in place indefinitely, especially with the current geopolitical situation, meaning future revenue from China would have been significantly curtailed as AI chip technology advanced and H20 chips became obsolete. The financial impact should be manageable. BofA analyst Vivek Arya estimates the new H20 restrictions could have a 5% to 8% negative impact on NVIDIA's calendar year 2025 revenue and a 6% to 10% hit on earnings per share, barring any bigger than expected upside from the company's latest Blackwell AI chips. Morgan Stanley analyst Joseph Moore said the H20 restriction doesn't affect his estimates for NVIDIA beyond the fiscal third quarter. We expected H20 to decline to minimal levels eventually anyway, with a performance threshold below 1/25th of Blackwell, he wrote. We remain very bullish on Blackwell. To hear the full story, subscribe or sign in.
So you can see NVIDIA is probably going to be just fine. Okay. I think we saw the most for it, but they're also going to say that because, you know, they want their money. But overall, I think NVIDIA saw what it was going to see, and it'll continue to go because AI is also we're having this crypto race, we're having this AI race. So I think NVIDIA is going to be fine. We'll see probably some declines, but it's not going to be anything too major. All right, so this next segment, guys, and mind you guys, get your crypto wallets. I can't stress it enough. If you haven't ordered your crypto wallet, you can get it on the TikTok. Just click on my profile and there's a little purse icon, and you can purchase your Arculus cold storage wallet. So get your cold storage wallet, guys. You need 2 of them, guys. Arculus wallets. Yes. You need You need 2 of them, guys. You need 2 Arculus wallets. One is connected to the exchange and one is connected wallet to wallet for an extra layer of security, guys. So when you purchase those wallets through my TikTok shop, it goes to help support the show. I'm not really here to sell you guys products, but you guys need this. So this is why I'm promoting it and selling it. It's not an ad. It's not about that. It's about giving you guys the tools that you need, because we do need those wallets, guys, to protect our funds now more than ever. When the market is moving down, scams start to go into place. And I've been saying this for a while. When the market was going down, the scams were going to start getting worse. And here is why. I'm going to explain to you why the market's going down today on a Wednesday. Pre-installed malware on cheap Android phones steals crypto via fake WhatsApp app. A new smartphone-based attack is draining crypto wallets without victims even realizing it. According to researchers at DocWeb, a surge in malware Android phones has exposed a coordinated operation where attackers are embedding spyware directly into the software for newly sold devices. The goal is to intercept cryptocurrency transactions through a hijacked version of WhatsApp. Okay, guys, this is why the markets crashed today. Okay, this is why you need to have an Arculus wallet that's connected to the exchange and one that's connected from wallet to wallet so that they cannot access your wallet that is connected wallet to wallet. Okay, this is why you need 2 of them. So I told you guys, that the hackers and the funds were not going to be safe on the exchanges, and even wallets are not safe. That's why you need to have a wallet that is wallet to wallet transferred so it's not connected to the exchange. Kilo EX DEX hacked by phone Oracle exploit for $7.5 million. Kilo EX, a decentralized exchange built on the BNB chain, suffered a $7.5 million attack and has suspended operations. Security analysis described a hack as a price Oracle exploit. Binance Labs founded the DEX as part of the program to support Binance Coin projects. Kilo X has isolated the exploit and is now trying to track down the funds and recover the stolen tokens for the users. But I'm telling you guys right now, getting your funds restored on crypto is nearly impossible. Okay? Only when it happens on a mass scale like this do people ever see a portion or some of their money returned. So get your Arculus wallets, guys. Get your funds off the exchange and stored into stable coins for the crypto winter so that way your funds are not stolen. This is very important, guys. And I told you that the scams were going to start taking place soon now that we had the market crash. And here we are today. And that's why the markets were down today, because of this news. The markets are down because Binance was hacked or whatever that was. So understand, guys, you need to have these cold storage wallets. You need to be holding stable coins. You can get APY. This is not financial advice, but when you're holding stable coins, when the market's going down, if you're not looking to day trade and, you know, work the markets on the way down, you can hold them in a cold storage wallet and continue to collect that APY. And, you know, any funds you have on the exchange, they're vulnerable. That's why you want to have them in a wallet. And if you are holding cryptocurrency long term and you're not trading it, the best place to keep them is in a cold storage wallet, guys. So order your Arculus wallets. You can get them from my TikTok by clicking the little shop link. There's a little bag. It looks like a purse. Click that link. Or you can click on my profile on TikTok, and right above my videos, it says there's the purse icon, and it says showcase. Click on that and you can order it there. Also, I have lots of other cool stuff. I have hoodies, and I have how to day trade books, and price chart pattern maps to help you read the patterns better, to become a better trader. There's this cool little device that allows you to see the price of XRP at any given moment. It's like connected via satellite, and it just sits there and it just tells you the price of XRP all the time. Some really cool stuff, guys. Definitely check them out. Anything you order from my showcase does go to help support the show. However, the Arculus wallets are not through the TikTok shop. That is a contract I have directly with Arculus. So when you get it through me, you're getting it the same price you would get it on Amazon. They are on sale right now. Normally they're like $147. They're $99 right now. And when you order them through me, you help support the show, but you get that same Amazon price, and you're getting it directly from Arculus, okay? So make sure you guys are getting those Arculus wallets. Keep your funds safe because the scams are in full effect, okay? Much appreciated to everyone. But do not forget to get those wallets, guys. You're going to need them. It's only going to get worse, okay? The markets are going to keep going down, and when other people lose their money, they try to steal money from those who have their money on the exchange, who aren't paying attention, who don't know any better. So be careful out there, guys. The scams are in full effect, and that is why the market is going down. That is why we didn't push up and form this head and shoulders. And I think because of that, it's going to continue to send it downward. So make sure you guys get those Arculus wallets. Remember, you need 2 of them. You need 2 Arculus wallets, guys. One is going to be connected to the exchange, and one is going to be a wallet-to-wallet transfer. So that severs the tie to the exchange so that that wallet can never be accessed by anyone. That is the whole point of having two, and it works kind of like a checking and a savings account. And Arculus has the tap to pay option. It's made in the USA. It's stainless steel construction. It fits in your wallet like a credit card. It's what you want to have. I've had several different cold storage wallets, and in my opinion, I believe Arculus is the best, and that's why I promote them, because I want you guys to have the best technology to store and save your funds. So make sure you guys are getting those Arculus wallets. You need two of them. All right. As for the show, I think that's about it. We've covered all the news. We've basically, the markets are probably going down. We could get a bull trap pump, but probably come right back down into our bearish trend line. The markets have been hacked. They're probably not going to lower interest rates. Basically, we're headed on a downtrend, guys. We're going into crypto winter. That's very normal. Sell in May, go away. So if you are going to be selling and holding onto your stable coins, you want to have them in your Arculus wallets so that way they are protected and safe. So make sure you get those wallets. And if you need help setting them up, become a deluxe subscriber. And I will not only coach you and give you those daily price points, but I will also help you get those wallets set up. So long as you don't have any issue that it's, on Arculus's end, I can help you get those set up. I can help you do it in a way that's safe, because you can send your money to the wrong place and it disappear forever. So tomorrow, guys, we're going to be going live at 5 p.m. Pacific time instead of the early day show. I'm trying to split it up through the week because there's some people that are working and some people that live in other countries. So I've been doing an earlier show. Tomorrow's will be about from 5 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. So don't miss the show tomorrow. And don't forget to get those Arculus wallets. And also, if you want to support the show, you can send your donations to the Cash App or Venmo, or click the link on the Twitch website that comes up. And those of you who are on TikTok, my Cash App and Venmo are OZZY12233504. And you can send that there, and that helps to support the show directly. It helps me to pay my staff. We have a crew building the studio. We have a fact checker and journalist. We have an IT guy helping work with all the equipment. So anything that you give helps support this show directly. So those are much appreciated. Also, when you order your wallets, that does go to help support the show. Your subscriptions help to support the show. Your gifts that you guys send help support the show. But if you cannot afford to give, you can always just smash the like button, guys. And mind you, when you do subscribe, those subscriptions pay for themselves. I post daily price point videos of where the market's headed. And we have been nailing it every single day for months now. We have been calling the market to the cent every single day. So if you're looking to get those daily price point videos, make sure you become a deluxe subscriber. All right, everyone, have a good night. You know, if an anti-American candidate makes it into the election for Canada, expect to see the markets go down because that would indicate that we're going to have more of a tariff and trade war. The top of that channel would be somewhere around 215. I'd say about 215 would be the top. Yeah, no problem, guys. No problem. I'm here to help. But yeah, you know, we just got to kind of watch it. If we are going to be in the inverted head and shoulders, it's going to consolidate through this week, but it's Wednesday and we didn't really get much of a pump. We got a dump. I would say more than likely that it's not gonna get that pump, but it could go all the way down to 190 and still be within that pattern, so keep that in mind as well. So we just got to watch it and see what happens. This week is going to be the defining factor of what's going to happen. So just keep watching, keep waiting, and be a subscriber on TikTok so that you get those daily price point videos, the red alert videos, and you can also message me directly because I cannot be live to answer your questions all the time.